Welcome to Dude, Where's My Carrot? Today we are talking about a gemstone that honestly feels like it's from another planet. It breaks all the rules. We're talking about Opal, the queen of gems, and of course, the birthstone for October. Now, if you think you know how gems work, crystals, minerals, that kind of thing, just put that aside. Opal is different. So our mission today is to figure out what's going on inside this stone. Why does it flash with color? Why is it so tricky to take care of? And how can you tell a real deal black opal from a clever fake? This is your complete guide.
It's a great topic because you're right. It's not a traditional mineral at all. It's technically what we call an amorphous mineraloid.
A mineraloid, okay.
Yeah, so think of it less like a crystal and more like a hardened silica gel with water trapped inside.
Hardened silica gel. That sounds like the little packet that comes in a box of new shoes.
I mean, you're not wrong, chemically speaking. But that very structure, the fact that it's not a crystal, that's the key. Its beauty doesn't come from, say, trace elements giving it color. It's all about structure. It's physics.
Physics. I like it. Okay, before we dive into that, just a huge thank you to our partner, Gems of the Americas. They're full-time gem explorers, and they supply all the incredible up-close video footage we use. Seriously, you have to see their shots from the Australian mines. All right, so let's start with that magic trick, the play of color, that rainbow flash that just seems to float inside the stone. If it's not a chemical, what is actually happening?
It's an optical effect called diffraction, and it all comes down to what's inside the opal on a microscopic level. Precious opal is made of these tiny, tiny spheres of silica.
Microscopic glass beads.
Exactly, but they're packed together in this perfectly ordered three-dimensional grid. It's an incredibly regular structure.
Okay.
So when white light enters this perfect grid, the light waves get bent and split apart into the colors of the spectrum. It's like a prism, but way more complex.
And the colors we see depend on the grid.
Precisely. The size of the silica spheres determines the color. Smaller spheres, you'll get blues and greens. To get those really rare and valuable reds, well, the spheres have to be larger and the packing has to be just perfect.
That's wild. It's like beauty created by perfect organization. That kind of magic must have given this stone a pretty wild reputation through history.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for millennia, the Romans, for example, they were obsessed with it. They called it the Cupid stone. For them, it was the ultimate symbol of hope, of purity, of love.
The Cupid stone. I like that.
And the ancient Greeks took it even further. They believed opal gave you the gift of prophecy.
Whoa. Okay.
And, this is an oddly specific one, they thought it protected you from diseases of the eye.
Future sight and eye health. That's quite a combo.
Then you get these incredible stories, like the Arabic legends that said opals were literally bits of lightning trapped in stone that fell from the sky.
I mean, looking at one, I could totally see why they'd think that.
And of course, in Aboriginal Australian culture, they are sacred. They're seen as embodying the rainbow serpent, a creator spirit. It's deeply tied to the land.
So these stones are legendary. Where on earth do they actually form? I know there are two very different environments, right?
That's right. And they produce very different gems. The first, and by far the biggest source, is sedimentary-hosted opal. That's Australia.
Right. Australia is opal country.
It is. Something like 95% of all precious opal comes from there. It's their national gemstone. It formed millions of years ago when rainwater carrying dissolved silica seeped down into sandstone.
Okay.
As the water slowly evaporated over ages, the silica was left behind, hardening in cracks and voids. That's how you get the famous black opal from Lightning Ridge or the white opals from Coober Pedy.
And what's the other type, the volcanic kind?
Yes, volcanic-hosted opals, a totally different process. These are often linked with hydrothermal activity around volcanoes. This is where the newer material, especially from Ethiopia, comes from.
Ethiopian opal. I see it everywhere now. Tell me about that, because I hear there's a big catch with those.
There is. The deposits in Ethiopia, in the Welo region, they formed in volcanic ash at really low temperatures, like room temperature, basically.
That's so strange.
It is. And because of how they formed, these opals are what we call hydrophane.
Hydrophane.
It literally means water-loving. They act like a sponge. They can absorb moisture and, well, other things too. And that's a crucial thing to know if you own one.
We will definitely circle back to that warning. But first, the other volcanic starfire opal. That's from Mexico, right?
Exactly. Famous from the Querétaro region. Fire opals are all about their body color, that incredible glowing orange or red orange.
So if it's bright orange, is it automatically a precious opal?
Good question. No. If it only has that beautiful body color, it's technically common opal. It only gets the precious title if it also shows that play of color, that rainbow flash on top of the orange body.
Got it. Body color plus flash. Okay, let's talk money. What makes one opal worth $50 and another worth, $1 million?
It basically comes down to three main factors. And just a quick note, we used to say solid opal, but the official term now is natural opal for a stone that isn't a composite.
Natural opal. Okay,
Yeah.
so what's factor number one?
Number one is body tone. This is just the background color of the stone, behind the flashes. Can range from a milky white all the way to a deep pitch black.
And I'm guessing black is better.
Black is king. Black opals are the most valuable, hands down. That dark background creates the most insane contrast, so the play of color just explodes. It's like watching fireworks against a night sky versus a hazy day.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So after body tone, what's next?
The color pattern. This is about how the flashes of color are arranged.
I've heard some amazing names for these.
They're great. The absolute most desirable, the rarest, is called harlequin. It looks like a checkerboard with these broad, angular patches of color. Then you have things like pinfire, which is tiny little dots, or flagstone, which has bigger, irregular patches.
So a harlequin pattern on a black opal, that's the jackpot.
That is the holy grail, which brings us to the third and final factor, brightness.
How bright the flashes are.
Exactly. It's the intensity. We grade it on a scale, usually from B1, which is vivid, down to maybe B5, which is subdued. A B1 stone is electric. It will look amazing in any light. A B5, you might only see a faint glimmer in direct sun.
Okay, that all makes sense. But for a stone that relies on such perfect internal geometry, it sounds fragile. Let's get into the care. What makes opals so delicate?
Two things, really. First, they're soft. Only about a 5.5 to 6.5 on the Mohs scale.
What does that mean in practical terms?
It means that common household dust, which contains quartz, can actually scratch it.
Wow. So just wiping it with a dry cloth is a bad idea.
A very bad idea. And second, the water content. Remember, it's a hydrated silica. Sudden extreme temperature changes, like going from the cold outside into a hot tub can, cause the water inside to expand or contract too fast.
And that would crack it.
It causes a network of tiny, fine cracks we call crazing. Once an opal crazes, it's ruined. The value is gone.
Yikes. Okay, and this brings us back to that huge warning for the Ethiopian opals, the hydrophane ones.
This is so important. Because they absorb water, if you get them wet with anything other than pure water, so soapy water, lotion, oil, they can turn cloudy or yellow and they can lose their fire, sometimes permanently.
So never, ever wash your hands or shower with an Ethiopian opal ring on.
Absolutely not. The best care is simple. No harsh chemicals, no ultrasonic cleaners, just a soft cloth. If you must clean it, use a little bit of lukewarm water and mild soap and dry it immediately. And store it by itself in a soft pouch.
So what if you love the look of a black opal, but, don't have a spare $100,000?
Right.
That's where composites come in, right?
Exactly. Composites give you the look for a fraction of the cost. You have doublets and triplets.
Okay, what's a doublet?
A doublet is a very thin slice of real precious opal that's glued onto a dark backing, like black glass or ironstone. It mimics that high contrast look of a solid black opal.
It's a cheat code for that dark body tone.
It is. And a triplet adds one more layer. It's the dark back, the thin opal slice, and then a clear dome, usually quartz or glass, on top.
What's the dome for?
Protection, mostly. And it also magnifies the color, making it look extra flashy. But you have to know what you're buying. A doublet or triplet might only be worth 20 to 30% of a natural opal that looks similar.
And what about synthetics? Lab-grown ones?
Yep, they exist. Brands like Gilson or Kyocera make them. They have the same silica sphere structure, but they're often a little too perfect. Under a microscope, you can sometimes see a pattern that looks like lizard skin or snake skin. They just lack the natural chaos of a real stone.
All right, let's wrap up with some legends. The Opal Hall of Fame. What are some of the biggest and baddest opals ever found?
Okay, first, the heavyweight champion, the Olympic Australis, found in Coober Pedy in 1956. It's a staggering 17,000 carats.
17,000. That's not a gemstone, that's a boulder.
It's massive. Then you have what many consider the most valuable black opal, the Aurora Australis. It's 180 carats found in Lightning Ridge, and it has a perfect harlequin pattern. But the coolest part, on the back of the stone, there's a perfect fossil intrusion of a starfish.
Get out. A fossil starfish on $1 million opal. That's unbelievable.
Another fossil one is the Virgin Rainbow. It actually formed inside the fossil of an ancient creature called a belemnite, so it's shaped like a pipe. It's a black crystal opal, and people say it literally glows in the dark.
Okay, that's just unfair. And finally, there's one with a less glamorous name, the poached egg.
Yeah, the poor thing. Its real name is the Flame, but it's a 253-carat black opal with this incredible fiery red dome right in the center, surrounded by a ring of greenish blue.
So it looks like an egg yolk.
It does. A spectacular multi-million-dollar poached egg.
I love it. Okay, let's wrap this up. Key takeaways for you listening. First, know your type. If you have an Ethiopian opal, it's hydrophane. Keep it dry.
Please.
Second, know your value. The darker the body tone, the better. Black is king. And if you ever see a harlequin pattern, you're looking at something special.
And remember, you're buying a delicate balance of water and silica. It's a living gem in a way. You're buying captured light.
Which brings us to our final thought. We know opals need that internal water to stay stable and avoid crazing. And we know the play of color comes from that perfect structure of silica spheres. So here's something to think about. If an opal were to completely dry out over thousands of years, losing all its water, would that perfect light-bending structure collapse into dust? Or is the architecture permanent, just waiting for light even without the water that helped build it?